Fat Lever's with us for a couple of minutes. So you had your jersey retired with the Nuggets in 2017. You've done work with Altitude, so you know what's going on up there. Game 2 is tonight. What are you expecting differently out of the Nuggets tonight?
The biggest thing from the Nuggets tonight will be their aggressiveness. They've got to get out and run from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. They can't wait and get into a half court set. The first game in Phoenix was just a fill out game. You know, everybody talks about, hey, we want to see what's going to happen during those games. But now they know what's going to happen. When I say they, the Nuggets, they've bounced back so many times this season. And if I recall, they haven't lost back-to-back games and throughout the season. So they're known to be able to make those adjustments. And one of the things that I really love about this Nugget squad is their depth. Even though Jamal Murray's out, Will Barton's out, a lot of big guys are out, but you still haven't seen a lot of Paul Millsap. And didn't see the best of himself as far as Michael Porter Jr. goes. He may be a little hurting, but at the same time, I think he'll be ready to come back. And knowing Coach Malone, he's strictly looking at the defensive end first to get out and run, get some easy baskets in this game tonight.
I felt like he called out Aaron Gordon indirectly yesterday and Michael Porter Jr. about being soft without saying the word soft. And he did use the word soft, but not like they are directly. So I think he challenged his team a little bit yesterday. I don't know if you saw those comments or not, but it sounded like he got on their case.
Brad, Coach Malone challenges everyone, even Jokic, from the standpoint he'll hug you and kiss you and congratulate you, but indirectly he'll challenge you in the media, and he's done that with us many a times. But he will also challenge the guys in person, not to take anything away from them, but to know that they can do better, and especially someone like Michael Porter Jr., who's a great, great offensive player that I haven't seen anything like him since George Gervin. And so
wow,
one of the guys that he would challenge, someone like Paul Millsap, who's not playing many minutes. And when he gets into the game, Coach Malone expects him to use his leadership and his being a veteran to be able to push guys without insulting them. And then you brought up Aaron Gordon. Aaron really had a pretty decent game. He just didn't do the hard fouls that the N1s that you want guys to get. If you're going to foul them, make sure they don't get the and ones. And that's one of the things that Coach Malone is really stressing in this series against Phoenix, because, you know, Aiden is so strong that if you foul him and it's a soft foul, he's going to get the and one. And Coach Malone doesn't want that.
Yeah, they had 8 and 1s in game number 1, the Suns did. So that makes a lot of sense. Fat Lever's with us for a few minutes, the great Sun Devil, among other honors. So let's get into Jokic for a bit. I'm looking at who the Suns picked and how they passed over, and every team passed over for the 41st pick in the NBA draft. What is it that Denver saw in him that others didn't? Or was it just, you know, he's a big who's sitting here at 41? Let's go back to when they took him.
Well, I think everyone looked at his overall size and body shape, and that was not a NBA type of a body for the position and the way the game is played. Even if you go back and look at his childhood upbringing as a kid, and now look at some of his junior high school, middle high school team photos going back to Serbia, and those are guys like, maybe you should go play baseball. Maybe you should be on the line of the football team or something like that. But as he developed at a young age and his brothers challenged him to get the player that he is, he's definitely the MVP. We know that now. But at the same time, he's one of those guys that doesn't take the game too seriously, but he takes the game so seriously that it bugs him to lose a game or to miss a shot. So those are the intangibles that scouts overlook, see. But when you get him in the camp, not just 1 week or 2 weeks, but it's taken him time to develop. And the Nuggets have given him time to develop. And that development has paid off, not just for Jokic, but for the team and the players that plays with him, because he's the greatest guy to play with and the most giving guy on and off the court for the Nuggets.
He's only 26, Fat. And I'm watching him and just saying, oh my goodness, what's he going to be like when he's 28 and 30? And yeah, the wear and tear of the league will get to you eventually. But we're talking about someone who's really on the front end of going into places that you're in already and your career is done, but he's even bigger places.
Oh, without question, he's a Hall of Famer. And become the first Denver Nugget ever to win an MVP is something in itself. But I always congratulate him back when he passed me in all my triple doubles at the Denver Nuggets and the stats and things of that nature. And then when you talk to his teammates, those are the things that they're more than happy to talk about. And when you see him run through the locker room and playing with his teammates, those things. So the stats that he's going to put up are going to be way above most guards. But the big guys, he may not have the block shots, but he'll have the rebounds. He'll have the points. He'll have the assists. And then he'll have something that a lot of the normal good players don't have. And those are the trick shots. The things that surprise you is like, where did that come from? How did he do that?
Yeah.
Why would you even attempt it when you're a 7-foot center and you're out there shooting threes like it's a free throw?
Yeah, no, it's like when Steve Nash was here with the Suns, he would go practice all those crazy shots in the gym, and then they'd show up just out of nowhere. And that's not something that just happens. You have to have that creativity and that mind to be able to take some chances. So, no, I get that. Before I get you out of here, you're lined up across from Devin Booker. You're lined up across from Chris Paul. You're trying to slow those guys down. What is it you're seeing that you would be trying to do against them to get them out of rhythm that they were in the other night, in particular Chris Paul, Fat?
Well, Chris Paul is that old veteran that he's going to do just like Jokic. You stop him from doing one thing, he's going to come up with another trick out of his bag. So what you have to do is make sure that they stay in the game plan that you have set for the team. If you're going to double team every side pick and roll, do it aggressively. If you're going to go under every screen against Chris Paul, make sure that the big guy is going to show tough enough to get it. And then for someone like Ayton, when you look at those guys, you got to make sure you keep him off the board. Those are the things that Coach Malone is going to stress, and go back and look at the films and say, hey, here's what they're going to do at this point in time. And if we don't do this, they're going to kill us. And then on the defensive end, the Nuggets want to get stops, get out. And that's where Michael Porter really shines, because if you keep him in a half-court set on the defensive side, he's going to get everybody layups, and it's going to make it tough for the other defensive players for the Nuggets.